Today I'm going to be talking about the three types of innovation in consumer behavior. Keep in mind that innovation has to do with newness. So in consumer behavior, it's going to be applied to product creation and consumption. So the three types of innovation are continuous innovation, dynamic innovation, and discontinuous innovation. Here is a graph showing the relationship between the different types of innovations and how much learning is required. Learning in this case ties directly into how many new features the product contains, right? How many new things do you have to learn? And we can see a linear pattern as we move from continuous to dynamic to discontinuous. So first, let's discuss continuous innovation. Continuous has to do with the skills that you already have. You can think about it as a continuation of what you already know, right? So there's very little to learn, very few new things to adapt to. It's a low-risk endeavor, of course. If you're testing a new product and it's pretty familiar, right? Not a lot of unknown things that you have to learn, then you're going to be more likely to do it because it's a low risk and it doesn't require for you to change anything. It doesn't require that much effort from you. So a good example of this would be a new drink flavor, right? So if your favorite drink all of a sudden comes out with a new flavor, for you to try that and consume that product, you don't have to learn any new skills, right? You already know how to buy and consume a beverage. So it's just a continuation of old skills. You can think of it as continuing, continuous innovation. I feel like it helps with associating the meaning of the word. Next up is dynamic innovation. So this is just the next step up from continuous innovation. There's a little bit of learning involved, right? You may have to make some small changes to your routine or what you're used to incorporate this product, but you're still relying on skills that you already have to use this product, and you just are going to have to learn a few details, right? So it's not really a big thing. It's just a small bump from continuous innovation. You're going to be learning some new skills and probably making some minor changes. So you can think of the word dynamic as dynamic, minor learning. I don't know. That's how I remember it. Example of dynamic learning would be the purchase of a hybrid car, right? If you have never had a hybrid car before, you're going to have to learn some new buttons, some new details about the car. Maybe there's instructions with the product that you're buying, etc. But with the example of the hybrid car, you still know how to drive. You still know how to operate a vehicle, right? The amount that you have to learn is small. Next up is discontinuous innovation. The easiest way for me to remember this is that it's literally the product is discontinuing everything you know. So for continuous innovation, I gave the example that in order to use that product, you're just using a continuation of the skills you already have. In this case, it's a discontinuation of the skills you have. So there's nothing that you can use that you already know for this. You know, all the information is new. The product is completely unfamiliar, and there's a lot to learn. A good example for this would be the purchase of a freeze dryer. A freeze dryer is an entirely new piece of machinery. If you haven't used a freeze dryer before, there's no way that you have any idea what you're doing. So like I mentioned, there's a lot to learn, and this is a high risk purchase because of all the unfamiliarity. You're gonna have to do a lot of research. It's gonna be a high involvement purchase. And yeah, I just wanted to return to this graph really quickly after giving an explanation. I hope that it makes a little bit more sense. As you can see, from continuous, you are just using skills you already have. There's a low amount of learning necessary, a low amount of innovation within the product. And then as we move up to dynamic and discontinuous, we see a lot of innovation with the product. It requires a lot of learning. It's a high involvement and a high risk purchase. And then dynamic innovation sits somewhere in the middle where you need some new skills, but you are also relying on skills that you already have. Once again, I hope that makes sense, and thanks for watching.